So Louise, tell us about your new book, Her Italian Aristocrat.
It's a story of Gemma, who's a career girl who's come from Australia to Italy to a gorgeous Italian hill town, and she's a girl with a lot to prove. She's got a checkered past, and she's been sent to acquire a very prestigious shoe company in this gorgeous town. But the one thing that she doesn't know is that the aristocrat who reigns over this town is the one person who's is determined to save the town's businesses and its heritage, and they come into conflict.
And it's also becomes something happens that she doesn't expect to happen as well when she arrives in Italy.
That's
too.
Right. Yes, that's right. She has a case of suspected DVT because of this very long flight, and she ends up in an Italian hospital where nobody speaks English, and so that's really the beginning of the story. She's alone. She can't speak English. She's ill, and worst of all, she's behind schedule on this job, and it looks like it's going to go pear-shaped.
But best of all, she meets a gorgeous Italian aristocrat.
She does.
Tell us what the inspiration was behind your new book.
It started actually because I'd gone to an Italian hill town on business, not to acquire a shoe company, but I had the same experience that I ended up in hospital. Nobody could speak English. I was lying there at midnight and there were people streaming in and out, so it's a very odd thing in these sort of places that they don't have visiting hours. People come in at all hours. And I was fantasising about what it would be like to be saved by a gorgeous Italian aristocrat, because I had been walking around the town earlier in the day and seen all these lovely palazzos and beautiful homes. So my overactive imagination at midnight was supplying.
It's writing you a new book.
That's it.
I was wondering, the beautiful Italian village that you're just talking about, tell us about the real one that you visited. Where was it? And
it was in the Marche. So it's a part of Italy that if you're on that tourist trail where you sort of rack it up and down the country between Rome and Florence and Venice and Milan, you sort of, not many people get off that beaten track. And so it's on the east coast. It has the Adriatic Sea on one side, but it's very hilly, so it has lots of gorgeous old hill towns and sweeping plains and stone buildings, and it's the sort of place that it's romantic. It is romantic.
Sounds like you have a very glamorous job.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
So what is your work outside of writing? What do you do?
Yes, I'm in the lighting industry, so I do lighting for large hotels, bridges, that sort of thing. It's all commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what took me to Italy.
Do you have great lighting at home?
I do. I do.
Will you come to mine and do mine for me?
Absolutely, I promise.
Well, lighting's such an important thing, isn't
is.
it? It can really affect mood and ambiance of a room. Gorgeous shoes, that's another thing that play a part, because it's a shoe industry that's at stake here. But also your heroine wears gorgeous shoes.
Yes.
So are you a shoe person?
Unfortunately not. So that is the aspirational side of the book. There's no way I'm ever going to be wearing those shoes, so why not make my heroine just wear every sort of gorgeous shoe imaginable?
So you love them but can't wear them yourself?
I know.
Have you ever fallen in love with an Italian?
No. No, I haven't, but I imagine it would be rather nice.
So you've admired some?
Oh, I have, yes, they're very decorative.
Tell us what Luca is gorgeous. He's rich, bit of a playboy, we think, Italian. What is your idea of a perfect man? Is he anything like Luca, or is he different?
Well, Luca would be marvellous, but I like men who are comfortable in their own skin. I like that sort of alpha male that also exhibits the other alpha qualities, so the protectiveness and the care for people, and a sense of doing what's right. So they're not all those sort of super aggressive alpha qualities, which sometimes rear their heads in romance novels of certain sorts. But I like that protectiveness and care and honour, sense of honour, I guess.
What's the most romantic thing that's ever happened to you personally?
My partner moved his whole life to Melbourne for me, so I think that's rather nice.
How long
Yes.
ago was that?
That was 9 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your writing background, when you started writing and what prompted you to...
I've always done a bit of writing, I guess, throughout my life, but I didn't really get serious until about 4 or 5 years ago. And I wrote quite a few short stories that have been published in various anthologies. And yes, I just wanted to pursue romance, I guess. So that's
What prompted you 4 or 5 years ago to get serious about it?
meeting romance writers and particularly joining Romance Writers Australia as a group of people, and realising that I wasn't out there alone tapping away. And I know people do that, but I think it's nice to be in a group of people that are like-minded and all trying to do the same thing. So that was probably the impetus behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to learn a lot more because I was with people doing the same thing. So all of a sudden, problems started to be solved. Problems in my writing started to be solved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what made you choose romance as a genre?
Oh, I love it. Why not? I love happy ever afters, and I love putting people together and playing God, I guess, in making all these things happen. Perhaps it's a bit of a vicarious experience as well. Things happening to these people that haven't happened to me, but you think would be rather nice. And I like to make them, the hero and heroine, equal partners in their happy ever after. So I think that's really lovely to be able to create that.
Do you have a favourite romance author?
Probably would be toss-up between Amanda Quick and Susan Elizabeth Phillips. And they're both very funny authors. I like to laugh. So.
And how did you feel when you heard the news that you're being signed up by Destiny?
I was absolutely delighted, and it's just a dream for me to be signed by Destiny, and under the umbrella of Penguin. It's just fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.